The suicide plant, more commonly known as Gympie-Gympie, is a deceptive plant found in the rainforests of eastern Australia. Its innocent appearance belies a hidden danger, making it far more perilous than it initially seems to be. Its broad, heart-shaped leaves appear soft and inviting, much like any other ordinary plant in the lush Australian rainforest. This seemingly harmless facade is precisely what makes the Gympie-Gympie so incredibly deceptive and dangerous. The true danger of the Gympie-Gympie plant lies not in its overall appearance, but in the countless tiny, almost invisible hairs that cover its leaf surfaces, stems, and even its fruits. These hairs are the plant's primary defense mechanism. Under a microscope, these hairs reveal themselves as delicate, hollow needles, each capable of injecting potent neurotoxins. Their structure is designed for maximum penetration and efficient delivery of the painful compounds. These microscopic hairs are incredibly fine and brittle. Even a quick, accidental brush against the plant is enough to cause them to break off and embed themselves deeply into the skin, delivering their potent toxins. Once these hairs penetrate the skin, they trigger an immediate and overwhelming reaction. The contact unleashes a deep, burning pain that victims often describe as one of the most excruciating sensations they have ever experienced, lasting for hours. This intense pain is not fleeting. It can persist for days, weeks, or even months, resurfacing with changes in temperature or when the affected area is touched. The agony is so profound that it has driven some victims to extreme measures. The plant's ominous nickname, suicide plant, originates from extreme and harrowing accounts of individuals who have experienced its sting. The severity of the pain has, in some tragic cases, led to desperate thoughts. For those who work in dense rainforest areas, encountering the Gympie-Gympie is a lesson learned very quickly and never forgotten. They understand that this is not a plant to be trifled with, as one mistake can lead to prolonged suffering. Even after the plant dies and its leaves fall to the forest floor, the danger persists. The tiny stinging hairs can remain active and potent for many years, posing a threat to anyone who unknowingly brushes against them. This unique characteristic gives the suicide plant a very different kind of danger compared to other toxic flora. The risk does not simply disappear when the plant dries out, it lingers, a silent and potent threat in the environment. What makes the Gympie-Gympie particularly unsettling is its deceptively normal appearance. It blends seamlessly into its surroundings, offering no obvious warning signs until the painful damage has already been inflicted upon an unsuspecting victim. Indeed, a single, seemingly harmless leaf is all it takes to trigger an experience of agonizing pain. This profound and unforgettable encounter can stay with a person for a very long time, leaving a lasting impression of its potent toxicity. Next, we explore the Manchineel tree. Found on some beaches across the Caribbean, Central America, and northern South America, this tree often stands close to the water, appearing as a natural and harmless part of the coastal scenery. The Manchineel tree offers inviting shade, grows small green fruits resembling apples, and generally does not appear to be a plant that people would need to actively avoid. Its innocent appearance is a key part of its danger. However, that innocent appearance is precisely what makes the Manchineel tree so dangerous. Almost every part of this tree, from its leaves to its bark and fruit, contains toxic compounds that can severely irritate or harm the human body. The tree's milky sap is particularly hazardous. It contains potent toxic compounds that, upon contact, can cause severe chemical burns to the skin, leading to painful blisters and intense irritation that can last for days. Even a small drop of this milky sap on the skin can initiate a painful reaction. The affected area quickly becomes red, swollen, and develops painful blisters, similar to a severe burn, requiring immediate attention. Even seeking shelter under the Manchineel tree during a rain shower can be a dangerous mistake. Rainwater can wash traces of the toxic sap down from the branches and leaves, potentially exposing anyone beneath to its harmful effects. The tree's fruit is sometimes misleadingly called a beach apple due to its appearance. However, consuming it can cause immediate and intense burning sensations in the mouth and throat, leading to severe internal damage and discomfort. What makes the Manchineel tree so profoundly disturbing is that direct contact is not even necessary for it to become a serious problem. Its danger extends beyond physical touch, making it a pervasive threat in its environment. A person might simply be seeking shade from the tropical sun or walking casually near the tree's trunk, and still inadvertently end up exposed to its harmful sap, demonstrating the tree's insidious nature. Historically, the Manchineel tree was so widely feared that its potent sap was reportedly used by indigenous peoples in parts of the Americas to poison arrows, turning it into a deadly weapon for hunting and warfare. This historical detail gives the Manchineel tree a darker and more significant place in human history. It is remembered not merely as a dangerous plant, but as a formidable natural weapon, capable of inflicting serious harm. Despite its dangers, the Manchineel tree also plays a crucial role in coastal ecosystems. Its extensive root system helps to stabilize sandy soil, preventing erosion and protecting delicate shorelines from the destructive forces of nature. Therefore, it is not simply an evil tree maliciously waiting on the beach to harm unsuspecting visitors. The Manchineel tree belongs in its natural habitat, where it thrives and plays an important ecological role, despite its potent toxicity. The Manchineel tree's presence is a testament to nature's complexity, a plant that is both vital to its environment and profoundly dangerous to humans, demanding respect and caution from all who encounter it. Moving on to the jumping Cholla cactus, found in the deserts of the American Southwest and northern Mexico. This cactus has earned a reputation that sounds almost impossible to believe, hinting at its unusual and dangerous nature. Locals often claim that this cactus jumps at people, an incredible assertion. While the plant itself never actually moves towards anyone, the illusion of it jumping comes from a unique and surprising characteristic. The illusion of the cactus jumping arises from how incredibly easily its stem segments break away from the main plant. Even the slightest brush against them is enough to detach a segment, which then clings to whatever it touches. Each detached segment is densely covered in clusters of barbed spines. These spines are designed to grip onto skin, clothing, or animal fur with very little pressure, making them incredibly difficult to remove once attached. An unsuspecting person can simply walk too close to the cactus, barely touching one of its segments, and suddenly find a spiny section firmly stuck to their body, causing immediate discomfort and pain. Attempting to pull off the attached segment by hand usually exacerbates the situation. The barbs on the spines are specifically designed to hold on, making removal difficult and often causing more spines to embed or break off. The danger of the jumping Cholla cactus is not based on poison or toxic sap, but rather on its ingenious mechanical design. Its effectiveness as a defense mechanism lies purely in its physical structure. These spines are equipped with tiny, backward-facing structures, much like fishhooks. This design makes them incredibly difficult to remove once they have entered the skin, often requiring specialized tools or medical attention. For the jumping Cholla cactus, this isn't merely a defense mechanism. It's also a highly effective and ingenious method of propagation, allowing the plant to spread its offspring across the desert landscape. Detached pieces of the cactus can travel long distances, clinging to animals or being carried by wind. Once they drop to the ground, these segments can root and grow into new plants, expanding the cactus's territory. Visually, the jumping Cholla can appear quite beautiful, especially when bathed in sunlight. Its pale, fuzzy spines glow around the branches, creating an almost ethereal appearance that belies its dangerous nature. However, the very glow that makes it stand out in the desert is also its silent warning. This is one plant you absolutely do not test with your bare hand, as the consequences are immediate and painfully memorable. The jumping Cholla cactus is a master of desert survival, using its unique defense and propagation strategies to thrive in harsh conditions, a true marvel of natural engineering and a formidable plant to avoid. Next, we encounter the giant hogweed. At first glance, this plant can appear like a dramatic and beautiful wildflower, with its impressively tall stems and large, umbrella-like white flower clusters spreading high above the ground. This plant can grow significantly taller than an average person, reaching impressive heights of up to 15 feet. Its sheer size makes it stand out in any landscape, often dominating its surroundings with its imposing stature. Its thick, hollow stems are often adorned with distinctive reddish-purple blotches, resembling paint splatters, and are covered in coarse, bristly hairs. These features, while striking, are also part of its warning. However, its imposing size is an integral part of its danger. People often only notice the giant hogweed after they are already close enough to inadvertently brush against it, making accidental contact a common occurrence. The real problem with giant hogweed lies in its sap. This potent sap contains furanocoumarins, compounds that can make human skin extremely sensitive to sunlight, leading to a severe phototoxic reaction. When the sap comes into contact with skin and is subsequently exposed to sunlight, a severe reaction occurs. This leads to painful burns, blistering, and dark scars that can persist for a long time, causing significant discomfort. In severe cases of exposure, the marks and scars left on the skin can be incredibly long-lasting, sometimes persisting for years. Re-exposure to sunlight in the affected area can reactivate the reaction, causing further damage and discoloration. This dangerous characteristic is why giant hogweed has become a serious concern in parts of Europe and North America. It has spread aggressively beyond its original range, posing a significant public health threat in new environments. Ironically, giant hogweed was once intentionally planted as an ornamental species in gardens and parks. Its huge, unusual, and dramatic appearance was initially admired, leading to its widespread introduction. Removing giant hogweed is far from pulling out an ordinary garden weed. Due to its hazardous sap, workers often need to wear extensive protective clothing, including gloves, long sleeves, and eye protection, to avoid severe exposure. The plant's large flower heads produce thousands of seeds, which are easily dispersed by wind and water. This prolific seed production contributes to its rapid spread and invasive nature, making control challenging. The giant hogweed serves as a stark reminder that beauty in nature can sometimes conceal profound danger, and that human intervention can inadvertently introduce serious ecological and health problems. Next, we encounter the sandbox tree. Unlike some other dangerous plants that conceal their threats, the sandbox tree makes no attempt to hide its warning signs, displaying its perilous nature openly for all to see. The trunk of the sandbox tree is entirely covered in sharp, dark, conical spikes. This formidable armor makes the tree look inherently hostile and unwelcoming, deterring anyone from approaching it even before they get close. These spikes are not merely a deterrent, they are sharp enough to cause serious injury to anyone who attempts to climb or lean against the trunk, serving as an immediate and visible warning of the tree's defenses. Native to tropical regions of the Americas, the sandbox tree can grow to be incredibly tall and imposing. Its bark, densely covered in these dark spikes, gives it an almost armored appearance, a clear indication of its defensive nature. However, the intimidating spikes are merely the first layer of danger that the sandbox tree presents. Beyond its formidable exterior, other hidden threats lurk, making it a truly multifaceted hazardous plant. In addition to its physical defenses, the sandbox tree also produces a milky, toxic sap. This sap can cause severe irritation to the skin, leading to redness and swelling, and can be particularly harmful if it comes into contact with the eyes. Perhaps the strangest and most dramatic aspect of the sandbox tree is what occurs when its fruit matures, dries out, and eventually bursts open. This explosive event is a unique and powerful method of seed dispersal. The dried seed capsules can explode with a surprisingly loud crack, akin to a small gunshot. This powerful detonation propels the seeds away from the tree at incredibly high speeds, scattering them over a wide area. Before exploding, the fruit resembles a small, segmented pumpkin, hanging innocently from the branches. This seemingly benign appearance gives no hint of the explosive power it holds within its hardened shell. This violent and explosive release of seeds is highly effective for the tree's propagation, ensuring its survival and spread. However, it also contributes to its dramatic reputation, earning it a fearsome name in the plant world. Its fitting nickname, the dynamite tree, directly stems from this sudden, explosive behavior of its fruit. The powerful bursts are a clear and unforgettable characteristic that defines this remarkable plant. Indeed, every aspect of the sandbox tree seems to be built around defense and maintaining distance. From its spiked trunk that deters climbers to its explosively bursting fruit that scatters seeds far and wide, it commands respect from afar. Instead of relying on animals to gently carry its seeds, the sandbox tree employs a strategy of pressure, precise timing, and explosive force to ensure its offspring are widely dispersed, a truly unique adaptation. The sandbox tree is a prime example of nature's extreme adaptations, a plant that uses both physical and explosive defenses to thrive and propagate in its challenging tropical environment, a true marvel of evolution. Now, let's explore the velvet bean. Its name sounds soft and gentle, almost harmless, suggesting a benign plant. However, the pods of this seemingly innocuous plant can create one of the most intensely irritating touches in the entire natural world. Velvet bean thrives in tropical and subtropical regions across the globe. It typically grows as a climbing vine, producing long, distinctive pods that are covered in a dense layer of fine, velvety hairs, which are its primary defense. These fine hairs on the pods are certainly not for decoration. When they come into contact with skin, they readily break off and embed themselves, immediately causing intense itching, a burning sensation, and significant skin irritation. The hairs contain mucinin, a potent irritant that causes an immediate and severe reaction. The sensation is often described as an intense, persistent itch that can be incredibly difficult to alleviate. The reaction to the velvet bean's hairs can feel incredibly sudden and is almost impossible to ignore. The intense itching and burning quickly spread, especially if the hairs are transferred across clothing or exposed skin, causing widespread discomfort. Unlike the immediate pain from a thorn or spine, the danger of the velvet bean is not always immediately obvious. The insidious nature of its hairs means the irritation often begins subtly, only becoming apparent once the intense itching starts. This plant possesses an unusual double identity. While its pods are irritating, other parts of the velvet bean have also been utilized for centuries in traditional medicine and agriculture, highlighting its complex nature and diverse uses. The plant's beautiful purple flowers and edible beans, after proper processing, have led to its cultivation in some regions, showcasing its dual nature as both a hazard and a resource. Ultimately, the pod hairs are the primary reason the velvet bean firmly belongs on any list of plants you should absolutely not touch. Their potent irritating properties make direct contact a highly unpleasant experience. Historically, the hairs from velvet bean pods were even intentionally used in itching powders, a testament to their aggressive irritating properties. This historical use speaks volumes about the intense discomfort they can cause. For the velvet bean plant itself, these irritating hairs serve as an effective defense mechanism. They ensure that animals and people who disturb the plant quickly regret their actions, deterring future interference. A single, careless touch against a seemingly soft-looking velvet bean pod can instantly transform it into the source of a long, miserable, and intensely irritating itch, a stark reminder of its hidden danger. The velvet bean's widespread presence in tropical and subtropical regions means that encounters with its irritating pods are a common hazard for those living or working in these environments, requiring constant vigilance. The long-term effects of severe irritation can include persistent itching, skin discoloration, and even secondary infections if the affected area is scratched excessively, prolonging the discomfort. Next, we examine poison ivy. This plant is particularly dangerous because it doesn't need a dramatic appearance or obvious warning signs to effectively ruin someone's day with its potent irritating properties. Poison ivy is highly adaptable, capable of growing in various forms. It can appear as a low-lying plant, a climbing vine wrapping around trees, or even as a woody shrub, making it difficult to identify consistently. As a low plant, poison ivy often forms dense ground cover, making it easy to step on or brush against unknowingly. Its green leaves can easily be mistaken for other harmless plants in the undergrowth. When growing as a climbing vine, poison ivy can ascend trees, fences, and walls, reaching considerable heights. Its hairy aerial roots cling firmly, allowing it to blend seamlessly with the host structure. This ability to change its growth habit makes poison ivy incredibly easy to miss. It blends seamlessly into various environments, especially in dense forests, overgrown yards, and along trails, increasing the risk of accidental contact. The plant's primary threat is an oily substance called urushiol, found in its sap. This potent oil can readily stick to human skin, clothing, gardening tools, and even the fur of pets, acting as a persistent allergen. Urushiol is remarkably resilient and can remain active on surfaces for long periods. It can stick to skin, clothing, gardening tools, and even pet fur, allowing for indirect exposure long after contact with the plant itself. For a significant portion of the population, contact with urushiol oil triggers an allergic reaction. This typically manifests as an intensely itchy rash, accompanied by redness, swelling, and painful blisters that can be quite severe. The allergic reaction to urushiol often has a delayed onset, appearing hours or even days after initial contact. This delay means someone might touch the plant without realizing the problem until it's too late, allowing the oil to spread. By the time the characteristic rash begins to appear, the urushiol oil may have already spread to other parts of the body or even to other people, exacerbating the problem and causing wider irritation. What makes poison ivy so frustrating and pervasive is the incredibly small amount of contact required to trigger a reaction. Even a minimal brush against the plant can be enough to transfer the potent urushiol oil. A person doesn't need to crush the leaves or break the stem to be exposed to urushiol. Simply brushing against the plant, even lightly, can transfer enough of the oily substance to cause a significant allergic reaction, making it a constant outdoor hazard. The famous warning, "Leaves of 3, let it be," was created to provide people with a simple, memorable rule for avoiding poison ivy outdoors. This rhyme helps in quick identification, crucial for preventing contact. However, this rule is not foolproof. Poison ivy can change color with the seasons, from green in summer to reddish in spring and fall, and its appearance can vary, allowing it to blend deceptively into other vegetation. Its very commonness is what makes poison ivy so dangerous. The threat is not rare, hidden deep within an exotic jungle, or always clearly marked behind a warning sign. It's often found in everyday environments. Finally, we examine the stinging nettle. This is the kind of plant that people often discover by accident, usually found along trails, in fields, gardens, and the damp edges of forests, making unexpected encounters common. The stinging nettle does not look particularly threatening or dangerous at first glance. However, its stems and leaves are densely covered with countless tiny, needle-like hairs, which are its hidden defense mechanism. These hairs, known as trichomes, are hollow and filled with a cocktail of irritating chemicals, including histamine, acetylcholine, and serotonin. They are designed to break upon contact. When these delicate hairs touch human skin, their tips break off, acting like tiny hypodermic needles. They then release irritating substances, including histamine and formic acid, directly into the skin surface. The immediate result of contact is a sharp, stinging sensation, quickly followed by intense burning, redness, and a persistent, prickling itch. This irritation can spread across the touched area, causing significant discomfort. For most people, the pain and irritation from a stinging nettle sting gradually fade after a while. However, the initial contact can be surprisingly intense, delivering a sharp and memorable jolt of discomfort. What makes stinging nettle particularly interesting is that it is not merely a nuisance plant. Despite its stinging defense, it holds a surprising duality, offering more than just irritation to humans. For centuries, people have carefully utilized stinging nettle as food, fiber, and medicine. However, this is only possible after processing it in specific ways that effectively remove or neutralize its stinging hairs, making it safe for use. When cooked, the stinging hairs are neutralized, and the leaves become a nutritious and flavorful vegetable, rich in vitamins and minerals. It has been used in soups, teas, and other culinary dishes. Untouched and undisturbed in its natural wild habitat, the stinging nettle effectively protects itself from herbivores and curious humans alike with its potent chemical sting, ensuring its survival. When handled properly and with the necessary precautions, the stinging nettle transforms from a painful nuisance into a surprisingly useful plant, offering various benefits for human consumption and other applications. Stinging nettle is widely distributed across temperate regions of the world, making it a common sight in many landscapes. Its adaptability allows it to thrive in diverse environments, from woodlands to disturbed areas. Its prevalence means that encounters are frequent, and understanding its dual nature, both its sting and its utility, is key to coexisting with this fascinating and formidable plant. From the deceptive Gympie-Gympie to the explosive Sandbox Tre, these plants remind us that nature's beauty often hides potent dangers. The Manchineel Tree, with its innocent appearance, teaches us that even the most inviting shade can conceal a hidden threat, demanding caution and respect. The jumping Cholla cactus, with its jumping segments, highlights how mechanical design can be as formidable as any poison, making every brush a memorable encounter. Giant hogweed, a dramatic wildflower, reminds us that impressive size can be a deceptive lure, leading to severe burns from its phototoxic sap. The Sandbox Tre, with its armored trunk and exploding fruit, showcases nature's most dramatic defenses, built around distance and explosive force. Velvet bean, despite its soft name, delivers one of the most irritating touches in the natural world, a reminder that danger can come in seemingly gentle forms. Poison ivy, with its changing forms and hidden urushiol oil, teaches us that commonness can be its greatest danger, lurking in plain sight. And the stinging nettle, a seemingly harmless plant, delivers a sharp, chemical sting, proving that even familiar flora can hold surprising defenses. These plants, each with its unique defense mechanism, serve as powerful reminders of the incredible diversity and potential hazards present in the natural world. They demand our respect and careful observation. From the subtle to the overt, nature's warnings are everywhere. Understanding these plants is not just about avoiding harm, but also appreciating the intricate ways life adapts and protects itself. Always remember to be aware of your surroundings and learn about the local flora when exploring new environments. A little knowledge can go a long way in staying safe and enjoying the wonders of nature. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating insights into the natural world.